Good morning to my cherished viewers and listeners. Today our topic is going to be on Introduction to Computers, its components and systems on 4th generation computers. Here we introduce the lesson by asking learners some 3 basic components of a computer and their functions. And these were some of the answers that were being provided by the learners. Answers provided by learners. Central Processing Unit, which was one of the questions answered by them. The input device and output device, which is the second and third questions answered by them. The functions or importance of the input device provided by the learners was: input devices provide data input to processor, which process data and generate useful information that displays to the processor through output devices. So this simply means that the input device carry information into the processor, and the processor, which is also responsible for processing the information, now relay it to the display for the user to now see, which will now come as the output device. And after that, it is then stored in the computer memory. We move to our main topic, which is the 4th generation computers. And we are saying that 4th generation computers after 3rd generation computers, which mostly utilize microprocessors. 4th generation computers were released in 1972. VLSI technology, or very large-scale integrated circuit, was employed in these computers. As a result, they were debugged microprocessors. We move to microchips. And we are saying that a microchip, also called a chip or a computer chip or integrated chip (IC), is a unit of integrated circuitry that is manufactured as a microscopic scale using a semiconductor material such as a silicon or, to a lesser degree, germanium. A picture of a microchip is shown below. Now we say electronic components such as transistors and resistors are embedded into the material in layers, along with the intricate connection that links the components together and facilitate the flow of electric signals. We move to transistors. And we are saying that a transistor is a mini-nature semiconductor that regulates or controls current or voltage flow, in addition amplifying and generating these electrical signals and acting as a switch or a gate for them. Typically, transistor consists of 3 layers or terminals of a semiconductor material, each of which can carry a current. And a diagram or a picture is shown below. Our next subtopic is going to be on motherboard, and we are saying that a motherboard is a circuit board inside general purpose computing system, including personal computers, smart televisions, smart monitors, and other similar devices, which support communication between different electrical components and house components such as the CPU, memory, etc. A diagram of the motherboard is also shown below. Next, we move to integrated circuit. And here we are saying that an integrated circuit IC, sometimes called a chip, microchip, or microscopic circuit, is a semiconductor Wi-Fi on which thousands or millions of tiny resistors, capacitors, diodes, and transistors are fabricated. An IC can function as an amplifier, a timer, a counter, a logic gate, or computer memory or processor. A diagram of an integrated circuit is also shown below. Now we move to the architecture of a processor. And we are saying that every computer system has a unique component called the processor, which does all the work in the computer. The architecture of a processor. And we are saying that every computer system has a unique component called the processor, which does all the work in the computer system. So in most personal computer systems, the central processing unit CPU or processor is contained on a single chip called the microprocessor. Now, microprocessors are modern processors that are so small that they are referred to as such. A CPU is small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Because it handles all of the functions performed by the computer, other components and processes all of the commands sent to it via software instructions. The central processing unit, CPU or processor, is often referred to as the brain of the computer. The control unit, the arithmetic and logic unit, and the clock are the three most essential components of the CPU. The control unit manages the CPU's work. When the CPU receives a command, it is forwarded to the control unit. The control unit deduces the meaning of the command. The control unit ensures that the rest of the CPU does the necessary work to execute the instructions. In summary, the control unit tells the rest of the computer system how to carry out a program instructions. It orchestrates all CPU activities, such as directing the electronic signal between memory, which temporarily holds data or instructions. Processing information, and the arithmetic logic unit is also directing these control signals between the CPU and input and output device. How to identify a microprocessor? And we are saying that each microchip contains. How to identify a microchip? And we are saying that each microchip contains a registration number and the phone number of the registry for the particular brand of chip. A handheld scanner reads the ratio frequency of the chip and displays the information. An example is an animal shelter or a vet clinic that finds your pet can contact the registry to get your name and phone number. And a picture or a diagram of a microchip is shown below. How to exploit the architecture of a processor. The CPU contains three major components, which is the memory, control unit, and the ILU, also known as the arithmetic and logic unit. The modern CPU architecture is implemented on the ICs, that is integrated circuit, with one or two single metal oxide semiconductors. IC chips or microprocessor chips with multiple CPUs are called multi-core processors. In summary, we talked about fourth generation computers and its features. Then we say fourth generation computers after third generation computer, which mostly use microprocessors. Fourth generation computers were released in 1972. VLSI technology, or very large scale integrated circuit, was employed in these computers. As a result, they were debugged what microprocessors. We discussed further of fourth generation computers like microchips, transistors, motherboard, and integrated circuits and their functions. Then we also talked about how to identify microchips, which is each microchip contains a registration number and the phone number of the registry for the particular brand of chip. A handheld scanner reads the ratio frequency of the chip and displays the information. An animal shelter or vet clinic that finds your pet can contact the registry to get your name and phone, and that was an example being given. Lastly, we explained the architecture of the processor, and we say the CPU contains three major components, which is the memory, the control unit, and the ILU, also known as the arithmetic and logic unit. The modern CPU architecture is implemented on an IC. With regard to this, we've come to an end of our discussion, but before we go, I would like to take an assignment. Assignment 1. The change in technology used in computer is termed as A. Computing, B. Generation of computer, C. Computer upgrading. Question 2. Both software and hardware make up the A. Lifeware of a computer, B. Computer system, C. Computer requirements. Question 3. The fourth generation of computer are made of A. VLSI microprocessor base, B. VLSI microprocessor base, C. Transistor base. Question 4. Among the components used in building the generation of computers, which one is the fastest? A. Transistor base, B. VLSI microprocessor base, C. ULSI VLSI microprocessor base. Question 5. AI stand for A. Artificial intelligence, B. Artificial intelligence, and C. Action intelligence. 6. Punch card, paper tape, and magnetic tape were used in which generation of computers? A. First generation, B. Second generation, and C. Third generation. Question 7. The critical electronic components of the first generation was A. Transistors, B. Integrated circuit, C. Vacuum tube. 8. Functionality, usability, and are the major characteristics of computer technology that differentiate one from another. A. Technology, B. Speed, C. Time, D. Systems. 8. The degree to which individual users have access to functionality and speed is A. Memory, B. Development, C. Operation, D. Accessibility. Question 10. How many generations of computers do we have so far? A. 5, B. 7, C. 4, D. 3. And we have 10. In which of the generation was batch processing operating system mainly used? A. First, B. Second, C. Third generation, D. Fourth generation. Question 11. All the following are characteristics of the first generation computer except A. They consume electricity, B. They are huge, C. They are costly, D. They are transistors. 13. IBM 1620, CDC 3600, CDCI 604 are all examples of which types of generation? A. First generation, B. Second generation, C. Third, and D. Fourth generation. Question 14. The invention of the GUIs, mouse and portable device, was also characterized in the A. First generation, B. Second generation, C. Third generation, and D. Fourth generation. With regard to this, we would like to hear your feedback from the assignment being given to you. Thank you and have a nice day.